types of agriculture, and the first type of agriculture is simple subsistence farming, or what is also referred to as shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation. This involves growing of food crops for families' requirements. So this type of agriculture is limited for the provision of food for the family. The characteristics include: the plot is normally sited in a virgin forest. Forests are cleared by fire, hence it is called slash and burn agriculture. Cultivated areas are usually scattered and separated by thick forests. Cultivation is done by use of primitive or simple implements such as hoes and sticks, as can be seen in the diagrams. Farmers grow food crops for family use, e.g. yams, cassava, rice, beans, bananas. Farm produce is homogeneous. Mixed cropping is practiced in this type of agriculture. The land is normally left fallow to regain fertility. Field rotation is practiced. Cultivators live in temporary huts which are readily abandoned. The plots are normally abandoned when the yields decline. Limitations of this type of agriculture is that burning destroys soil organic matter. Soil normally loses its fertility quickly because no attention is made to the fertility of the soil. The third limitation is that the system requires vast tracts of land for rotational cultivation. It is wasteful as the land is left fallow. This method cannot produce enough food for a growing population, and therefore the yields are normally very low. It should be noted that shifting cultivation is being phased out due to the following reasons. 1. The land tenure system that allows for individual ownership, so this one limits the movement that takes place. 2. Need for more food due to population growth. And lastly, population pressure on land leading to subdivision of land. Next is sedentary subsistence agriculture, and in this system farmers give attention to the land and the crops. That is, crop rotation is practiced. Cultivators stay permanently in one spot. Many animals are normally kept to supplement the food crop that is grown. So characteristics is that 1. The fallowed fields are frequently used since the community occupies a permanent dwelling place. Sometimes it is combined with cash crop farming and forestry. Another one is that drought animals like oxen, buffaloes, horses are also kept. Lastly, farming methods are very intensive and involves use of simple implements. The next type of agriculture is intensive subsistence farming, and in this type of agriculture a lot of energy is put on farm work to sustain a large and fast growing population. This type of agriculture is characterized by 2 types of agriculture, namely intensive subsistence agriculture dominated by wet paddy, and intensive subsistence agriculture dominated by other food crops. The fourth type is plantation farming, and this is a specialized commercial cultivation of cash crops on extensive tracts of land, usually by scientific methods. Characteristics: 1 is that farming is scientifically managed. The farms are very large, more than 40 hectares. Mechanization is embraced in the operations. Crops grown are usually for export or market-oriented. A great deal of capital is involved. Monoculture is practiced. Hired labor is employed, and most farms are foreign-owned. This type of agriculture also got some problems like climatic hazards which affect crops, e.g. hailstorm, frost, harmattan winds. Insect pests and diseases also destroy the crops since it involves one particular type of crop, as can be seen in the diagram, and another problem is that of monoculture, which lead to soil exhaustion. So that is plantation farming. Next type of agriculture is extensive mechanized grain cultivation, and this is the cultivation of grain on large scale marked with dominance of wheat like Canadian and American prairies, the Vales, the Downs, and the Canterbury Plain of the New Zealand. In Kenya it is practiced in Uasin Gishu, Nakuru and Narok. Characteristics of this agriculture is that farms in the mid-latitudes range from 240 to 16,000 hectares, with settlement confined in the farm estates. Farming processes are entirely mechanized from field preparation to harvesting. Wheat is the principal crop grown in the temperate areas. Grain is raised on an irrigated land since it requires little rainfall, and the farms are individually owned. Next is Mediterranean agriculture, and this is farming which is intensive and highly specialized. Subsistence farming is practiced alongside commercial farming, e.g. wheat, barley, vegetables for local consumption, while olives, grapes, oranges and lemons are for export. Mediterranean agriculture has four aspects. We have viticulture, which is the cultivation of grapes for wine making. We also have orchard farming, that is cultivation of citrus fruits, dates, olives and figs. There is cereal and vegetable cultivation, where crops involved include wheat, barley, beans, lentils, carrots, onions and tomatoes. Then the fourth aspect is limited animal husbandry, which involves keeping of sheep, goat and cattle. Next we have mixed farming, and this involves growing crops and also keeping livestock on the same piece of land. Characteristics here: crops are grown and livestock kept on the same land or farm. The farms are moderate in size and grow a variety of crops. Lastly, a portion of the farm may be left for animal pasture. So that is mixed farming and generally the types of agriculture that we have.